welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction eyeshadow palette. If you do want to see a review and a demo, please keep watching. I purchased this eyeshadow palette directly from Pat McGrath's website. She was having a sale. It was 20 to 25% off depending on how much you spent, and I think I spent over $100, so I think I got this palette for 25% off. Or I think it was my entire purchase was 25% off if I did spend over $100. I need to purchase my first ever Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. This is a full-size palette. Normally I get her 6-pan palettes or her 4-pan palettes. I've never tried the 10-pan eyeshadow palette. This retails for $125. I know, it's super expensive, and I wanted to see what the hype was all about. It does say here Pat McGrath Mothership 5 eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It says Bronze Seduction. It's very faint. I do love the packaging. It is so pretty. And then on the back you do have some of the ingredients. Let's go ahead and open this up. I didn't even peek in because I wanted to do it all on camera with you guys. Ooh, this is so pretty. Wow, the packaging is so pretty. I love this black packaging. It's so elegant, and then on the back, it's kind of mirrored. So I'm trying not to blind you guys. I want to read a little bit about this eyeshadow palette before we dive in. A palette of 10 richly pigmented shades and 5 next generation formula come together to fashion your most fixating looks for luxury at your fingertips. How pretty are the shadows? It is so gorgeous. The palette does come with a mirror, but why is it so expensive, Pat? The first shade in the palette is called Skin Show Divine Glow. It's so soft in the pan. Skin Show Divine Glow is described as a golden champagne. Ooh, let's blend this out. That is a gorgeous shadow. The second shadow is called Entrapment. This is another soft shade in the pan. Here's what that shade looks like. Wow, super pigmented. Entrapment is described as a tawny terracotta matte. I feel like it didn't swatch as well. You want to build it up. That matte shadow did need a little bit of build up, but again, it's a gorgeous shade. The third shade in the palette is called Bronze Blaze. It's a little bit scratchy in the pan. Wow, so pigmented. Bronze Blaze is described as a glittery golden bronze. Ooh, that swatched really nicely. Blend this out. Next shade is called Rose Gold 005. This one's a little bit scratchy in the pan as well. The pigment on that. Rose Gold 005 is described as a gleaming rose gold. That is so pretty. Wow. Again, let's blend this out. It's so pretty. The last shade in the top row is called VR Fire Opal. This is so soft in the pan. It's gorgeous. VR Fire Opal is described as a color shifting chartreuse. That is such a unique shadow. I don't have anything like that in my collection. Blend her out. That is really pretty, you guys. I built up this shadow a little bit more and I blended it out so you guys can see the color shifting. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up, but there is a bit of a color shift. When I turn my hand a little bit, do you guys see there's a little bit of purple, green? We don't know, but it's so gorgeous. Do you guys see it now? First shade in the second row is called Xtreme Aubergine. Very soft in the pan. Wow, look at that purple. Xtreme Aubergine is described as a blackened matte violet. It's very pretty. I do want to blend out this shadow. I do want to go over it again. I built up the shade in Xtreme Aubergine. I wanted to see how the shadow does build up. I'm not a huge fan of this shadow. The next shade is called Gilty Pleasure. A little bit scratchy in the pan. Gilty Pleasure is described as a silky bronze taupe. I have a little bit more of that shadow in Gilty Pleasure. We'll build it up. Now I do see a little bit of that bronzy greenish shadow. The next shade is called Disobedient. Very soft in the pan. Here's what that shade looks like. Disobedient is described as a classic matte mahogany shade. I do want to build it up. This dark chocolate brown shadow is not as pigmented as I expected it to be. The next shade is called Blitz Flame. It's so soft in the pan. Here's what that shadow looks like. Blitz Flame is described as a molten metallic crimson. I do want to build it up. That shadow is so smooth, it's so silky, and it's pigmented. The last shade in the palette is called Astral Luna Gold. A little bit stiff in the pan. Here's what that shadow looks like. Astral Luna Gold is described as a glistening white gold. It's so pretty. I do want to build it up. This feels like a chunky glitter shadow. It does have a little bit of fallout. Here we have all 10 shades swatched on the back of my hand. Now we're going to create a look using this palette. Taking a fluffy brush, we're going to dip into the second shadow in Entrapment. I'm going to be placing this shadow in my crease. I'm going to go back and forth, doing windshield wiper motions. I barely picked up any product and look how pigmented this is. Definitely think this palette is gonna last me a long time. I'm loving this tawny terracotta matte shadow. I'm gonna be doing the same thing for the other eye. Taking a flat packer brush, we're gonna dip into the shadow VR Fire Opal and pop that in the center of my lid. A little bit of fallout. I'm going to use my finger with this shadow. I just have a little bit on my finger and I'm just going to tap this in the center. Wow, this shadow is so gorgeous. I know I have a little bit of that shadow in my crease, so I'm just going to use my same brush and blend it in together. That shade is so beautiful. I'm not sure why the left side looks more put together than the right side. Again, I do have some fallout using that shadow in VR Fire Opal. Love this shade so far. Taking a smaller brush, we're going to dip into the shade Astral Luna Gold. I'm going to place this shadow in my inner corner. I'm going to leave the eyeshadow as it is. We're going to pop on a lip and mascara and I'll be right back. For mascara, I use my L'Oreal Unlimited Mascara. You guys already know this is my favorite mascara of all time. For lips, I currently have on the shade in Whirl from MAC. My final thoughts so far on this palette is that I don't think it's worth the $125. I mean, her formulas are unique, but there's so much fallout, especially with the glitter shadows in this particular palette. I just don't think it's worth it. There are 7 glitter shades in this palette. There's only 3 mattes. I should have researched a little bit more about these palettes before I dove in and purchased. I don't think I would purchase another 10 pan eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath. I was expecting not to have any fallout from this palette. I do understand that this palette does have a lot more glitter shadows. If you guys have her full-size eyeshadow palette, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.